My name's Everett Minshall, and in today's video, I thought I'd go ahead and do some API work, specifically using Vantage's API. It's taken me like a couple of tries to figure out how to really get the hang of it, but I thought I'd go through and show you guys some tricks and some cool little tests that you can do to get started with quantitative finance and start doing some stock trading or crypto trading or FX trading, or at least researching strategies that you might want to implement later down the line. This is something I've been really enjoying learning lately. So I wanted to make a fairly short video on how to just get the data in and get started with running a strategy. So to get started, we're going to need to import a few packages. I've got them here. It's pandas. Pandas TA is a package that stands for technical indicators, and then requests. And what I like to do after this is set my key. Now I am going to blur out my key because this is specific to me, but you can also just use, you can go to the Vantage website and get your own key. Next, we need to pull data from the API, and we do this through a URL. So this is where it helps to break down what we're going to do. So we're just going to use time series intraday, or actually let's do daily. You can see it has the parameters here. I actually really like the documentation on this API. It makes it fairly simple, and then they give you like a ton of different, outputs that you have here. So let's go ahead and just copy one of these here. Paste it here. Make that a string. And we can use demo, but because I have a key, I'm actually going to set this as my key. We'll leave the output size as full because we want as much data as we can from them, but you can set it to compact if you want less. Our symbol is going to be IBM. Let's make it something a little bit sexier, like Tesla. And like I said, the function is going to be the time series daily. Now, something that has also helped me is you want to add in, I believe it's data type, and we want the CSV version of that, because as much as we like JSON, it's just not as helpful. So now that we've assigned the API call to a URL, we can go ahead and read CSV, can go ahead and read that URL. And before we look at it, let's also make it into a data frame. And then let's print first 3 rows, see what comes out there. Cool. So as you can see, we get a timestamp, we get open, high, low, close, and volume. And you can see on the day I'm recording this video, Tesla's open was at 211. Time of the closed is at 215. Pretty decent level of volume as well. We can do something like Amazon, and we can get all of Amazon's data for the last few days. And we can even so head is just a really good method to show what is what the columns are and what the data looks like at the very beginning. But if we call shape, we can see that there's a lot of rows and 6 columns. So 5,000, almost 6,000 rows. That's almost 6,000 days of data that you can gather just from, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of code here. Let's try something else here. Let's go ahead, go back to head. Do we want to do Amazon? Can we think of anything else that's sort of That would be a good symbol to look up. What about Apple? So once you have the data, you might want to start manipulating it or finding technical indicators that will help you make a trade or help you understand what kind of trading algorithm you want to build. What I like to do is just add that technical indicator here on the data frame. So let's say we want the RSI. This is where the pandas TA comes in handy, because we can just call TA RSI and we'll want the close, and we'll say like a length of, I don't know, 14 candles or so. And if we call our, now this confused me a lot because I had called this RSI and then I went to go check my heading, but then I could see like, oh shoot, there's null here. And that's because, remember, it's calling the first 14 back candles here. So it's looking at the first 14 rows and then it'll start. So if we type in 20 here and take a look again, you'll see, yeah, there's no data here because we've set our length at 14. So once we get to the 14th row of our data frame, you'll start seeing that technical indicator here with each close. So just keep that in mind. It took me forever to figure that out because I don't know, I was just being dumb and wasn't looking at the full data frame. But yeah, don't be too worried. Sometimes you just need to look deeper into your data frame there. And one way you can do that without having to call head whatever, right? We can do like 20 through 30, and if we call this, you can see that we have the RSI, you know, more further down our data frame. Okay, but let's say you wanted to test your algorithm. You've gone through your technical indicators and you've written your trading logic. How do you then test the algorithm that you've just built? So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do that. I'm going to write, obviously, some more technical indicators and some trading logic. I'm not going to jump too far into it. If you're interested in trying to figure out what I'm doing here, let me know in the comments. But it's really just so that I can show you how to backtest and what's cool about having the backtest package as well. So let me quickly just add in some things here that I've already been working on for a couple of days now. Okay, so let's start a little bit back at the beginning here. So I've added some, you know, simple moving averages, the exponential moving average, which is slow, and one that's fast. And I've defined these here. If you want to, I'm not going to explain exactly what that is. You can look it up, you know, on Alpha Vantage or Investopedia or something. I've also included some Bollinger Bands, and then made sure that my data frame didn't have any missing values, reset the index, and then created some trading logic, which is if the slower moving average is greater than the faster moving average, that signals a buy and a sell position. And then I've added all those signals to my data frame. And I've also added order limit here that has to deal with the Bollinger Bands that I've set, which is the order signal. And then I've added that to my data frame as well. So by this point, we're ready to backtest. And the way to do that is to install backtesting. I think it's literally just pip install backtesting here in the kernel. Once that's ready, you can import packages strategy and backtest. And it will give you it's going to get ready a bokeh graph, which is pretty cool because then you can see exactly like what went wrong and what you can do better. I'm going to copy and paste a big chunk of code here Again, this is something that I've been working on for a while now. So I'm not going to go too deep into it, but if you'd like to see how to do it, just let me know in the comments. So this is basically my strategy, and I'm passing through, strategy, which is what we've imported up here. And this is going to handle the backtesting in our data frame. One thing I forgot to do actually is here we need to include what I like to do is make a copy of my data frame, and we also need to create a signal for our strategy to work here down here. So I forgot to do that. And I'm just remembering one other thing. In order for this to work, you need the column names to be formatted correctly. So if I think up here, yeah, they're lowercase. We need these to be uppercase. Let's change those to uppercase. All right, so once the column names are formatted correctly and you've written out the, I'll go over it a little bit. So we've set a stop loss ratio here, and a take profit as well as some other logic about when to buy and sell trades. Sort of that based on the signals that we've put in our data frame from up here. Let me just make sure this works. It does. Okay, great. So now that the logic is sound, we can call backtest. We'll pass through our data frame. We'll pass through our strategy. We're going to start with $1,000, a margin of 1/5, and we're not going to set a commission, but you can if you want. And just to make things simple, we'll assign all of that to a variable called BT. And we'll do that. Oops. And we'll call stat and see what happens. And it gives you this nice little report here. As you can see, we ran for about 5,500 days. Equity peak in dollars was $10. So let me guess. Yeah, return was -98. So not a very good algorithm. I definitely wouldn't use the trading logic that I just put in here. But as you can see, it does work. And it's better than deploying this strategy and losing money virtually through these backtesting. But you can see it gives you a lot of good stuff like Sharpe ratio, buy and hold return, return percentage. Yeah, is awful. Equity peak looks like I made about $300 at some point, but ended up with only 10. Max drawdown was 99. Jesus. The win rate was 33%, just about 34% on my trades. Not very good, but it is a starting point. But I did say that it would give you a cool little graph. And the way we can do that graph, I believe, is if we just do bt dot plot, leave. There we go. And then it gives you this nice little plot here, and we can see what actually happened. Yeah, and you can kind of tell, like, here, I mean, this is in the way, but it looks like I lost some money and then gained some money and lost some money. And you can see most of those big trades were up here. And you might be wondering, like, why did I lose and gain so much money in the beginning? It's because we put like 99% of our cash down in the very beginning. And you can see the volume here just kept getting lower and some good signals here. And what's nice about this backtesting is you can really zoom in on even the candlesticks and see, like, okay, well, this was a win because I put in a sell order here. Yeah, so you can see where I'm winning on these like downtrends. But let's try to find some losers. Looks like I was losing on these uptrends up here. So something to keep in mind. And it looks like I was missing some trades here and there, and I didn't maximize this trade here. But you can see the power in this backtesting package to help you optimize your strategies. So I thought all this has been pretty cool. I've been playing around with it for a few weeks now. Definitely trying to do more. Alpha Vantage has its limits, especially when it comes to crypto intraday. You can't pull enough data, it seems like. I'm trying to look at other APIs. If you can think of anything, let me know and I'll check it out. But hopefully this was something that you found interesting, and yeah, it goes fairly simple if you know how to write Python logic. And if you have some idea of technical indicators, or if you just want to get started, I definitely recommend giving it a try. And one person that I really enjoy watching videos on is the channel Code Trading. This guy's awesome. He's definitely been teaching me a lot of stuff, and most of his videos are just like a gold mine. So give him a look too if you're interested. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.